Hi everybody, welcome to our YouTube channel. Today in this lecture I'm gonna teach you the most important topic in C++ object-oriented programming course, and that is function overloading and function overriding. Now let's get started. Before everything, we have already some theory information about function overloading and function overriding. The most important and the most amazing topic in object-oriented programming. And one thing more, if you learn function overloading and function overriding concept clear in this video, now in upcoming video that we talk about polymorphism, it will be more easy and clear that concept to you, my dears. Because in polymorphism, we have function overloading that in this video I'm teaching you, and as well overriding that in this video I want to teach you, and virtual function that we will see in upcoming videos. Now let's get started with function overloading and function overriding. First of all, we have function overloading. Whenever same method name is existing multiple time in the same class, the different number of parameter or different order of parameter or different types of parameter is known as a function overloading. What does it mean? It means that in a class you have some methods, for example, 3 methods, 2 methods, 4 methods, but its name or same. I mean by same name, show, but its parameter or change, or you can say its return type is changed. That concept is called function overloading. Simple, you can see the practical example that we have class test here in public portion. After that, access modifiers that we already talk about. Here I have void info, void info, void info. 3 names I have, right? But here, look the parameter. String ename, I have string name, int age, and string name, int age, and string address. Here I have 1 parameter, 2 parameter, and 3 parameter. Now that concept is called function overloading. We have 3 methods by 1 name, info, but it's parameter or change. Now, okay, here the second concept that we have, it's function overriding. Now what is function overriding? If base class, I mean base class, what does it mean base class? Parent class. In derived class, I mean child class, have member function with same name in argument. If you create an object of derived class, I mean child class, and write code to access the member function is derived class and only invokes the member function of derived class overrides the member function of base class. That feature in C++ program is known as a function overloading. What does it mean, my dears? It means that we have two classes. First one is parent and child class. Parent class, we have methods, for example, by the name of show. Look this example. Here we have void method 1, and that method we have also in child class as well, method 1. Now the child method 1 is what? What does it mean? It means that the child, look at here, the member function of derived class override the member function of what? I mean this function will override the function of parent class, and it will print as here that we obj.method 1, hello, this is method 1 from child. Now this was all for theory. Now let's get started in VS Code and do it practically. Okay, for example, I have class. For example, the first concept that we have, it's function overloading. Simply I want to talk class. We have, for example, class, my class name is test. For example, the class name is test, and I want to use semicolon as well here. Now here, for example, I have public portion, you know better, that's why I use. And here I have, for example, void show, one show function. After that, I want to copy, okay, show, second show function, and void show, third function. Now this is called, no, this is up to now not function overloading, because still it's an error, because you have 3 methods in one class by one name. It's not function overloading concept. If you want to use function overloading concept, you have to pause, or you can say return type, doesn't matter. I want to post a parameter by the name of empid, employee ID. And here, for example, I have int empid, and string, I have, for example, emp name as well. Simple. And here I have 3 parameters, for example, int empid, comma emp string Okay, string emp name. For example, name I have int. For example, I have double emp salary. For example, I have one parameter here, two parameter, three parameter. I mean the parameters are changed. Now this concept is called function overloading in C++ object-oriented programming. Function overloading. Simple. Okay, function overloading. Simply I want to change to overloading. Now right. Okay, right. This concept is called function overloading. Now, for example, in this function, in this method, I mean I want to use cout. Simply imp id I want to use. And if you want a message for the user, it's depend upon you which message do you want to print. For example, I want to use emp id, and after that, for example, like this, right? Emp id I wanna use e like this, and emp id is equal to like that. Now simply I wanna use here and cout as well. Okay, simply cout what emp name is, for example, is equal to, and emp name variable. After that, I want to use endl. Now simply I want to copy these two statements. Simply copy here and move into third method, which is emp name id and salary. Simply I want to use here emp, simply emp salary. Simply take a look, emp salary and emp salary variable. Sorry. emp salary variable. After that, I want to use endl. Now look here, my dears. We have three methods, for example. Now, if I want to create the object of test class, for example, obj1, and after that, obj1 dot show. Now, what will be the output? The output will be an error, and the error says that here you have three methods by the name of show. In the one method which has one parameter, two parameter, and three parameter, but here you provides me zero parameter. You have to pass me an parameter, and for example, I want to say this is simply id 1001. Now which function will be called? Take a look. This was simply the id function, which is simply this function. But if I want to use here simply a name, for example, James, now what function will be called? The second function that we have, emp id and emp name. This function I'm talking about, right? This function, this method. Now, if I want to pass, for example, the third parameter, for example, salary, now this will be the third method, which is id, James, and salary. That is called function overloading. For example, one another example, I want to create an object, for example, comment, and after that test obj1, test obj1. After the obj1 dot show. For example, I want to pass 1001 here, and after that obj1 dot show. For example, here I want to pass what? Here I want to pass, for example, 1002, and after that names I want, for example, James, and after that, for example, here I have 1003, and for example, I have Jack, and here I have salary, for example. Now take a look, my dears. We have one object, but from one object, it's show. It means one object have its own behaviors, different behaviors. Show simply ID, show simply ID name, show simply ID name, and salary. Now take a look. What will be the result? Wow, we got simply, first of all, emp ID, second emp ID and emp name, thirdly emp ID, emp name, and salary. This was the first concept that we talk about, measures, function overloading. I hope you got the point, and I hope you got the concept. The second concept that we have, it's function overriding. That here we have public void method 1 and void method 1. Let's do it practical, measures. For example, I want to come in this one and create a fresh class for you guys, and as well comment this one. That from here I want to start. For example, I have class by the name of parent. I want to use parent, and after that, this is parent class. For example, I have child class as well. For example, child, in this child extends, I mean inherit public what parent. We use colon here in C++, but in Java we use extends, right? Okay, doesn't matter. For example, here I have public portion, and here I have void methods. For example, method 1. After that, simply I want to use this parenthesis in curly brackets, which we already talk about in basic of C++ programming, right? Now I want to copy, no, I want to use another method, for example, void. Simply I want first the difference between method 2. Now this is method 2, for example. And here I want to use simply cout method 2 from what parent class, simply method 2 from parent class, and after that endl I want to use. And here as well a message for the user, for example, method 2 from what, here I have a problem from child class. Oh, where is the problem, my dears? We have a logical problem, and that problem is that it will be method 1 from now. Take a look, my dears. If I want to create the object of child, for example, like this, child and obj, for example, obj1, right? And after that, obj1 dot. When I press dot, I have an error, and the error is the child. Here we have like this, child. Okay, now done. For example, dot. I have two methods, with method 1 and method 2. Now simply I have method 1 or method 2 here, but I can access method 2 as well, method 1 as well. Why? Because we have inheritance concept here, and child has this function, can access this function as well, because we already talk about inheritance concept. Okay, if I want to show method 1, simply it will print me method 1. Just take a look. If I want to print run code, it will print me method 1 from parent class. Just take a look here, parent class. But if I add here like this, method into, and after parenthesis semicolon, it will print me method 2 from child class, right? But if I have this method, Control C copy, and I want to paste it here, for example, now method 1 as well and method 1 as well. This is child class, this is parent class. Now if I want to show method 1, what will be the output? I want to use a different message here, method 1 from child class, for example, I want to use here. Now this is from parent class, this is from child class. Now what will be the output? The output will be method 1 from child class. Take a look, method 1 from child class. Why? Because this concept is called function overriding. In that function override the function of its parent class. Simply, that function that we have in child class, it's override the what function? The parent function that we have. In that function is called function overridden. In that function is called function overriding. In this concept is called function overriding in C++ object-oriented programming. This was all about for this video, my dears. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you learned something from this video. Simple topic and simple concept. Function overloading and function overriding. Right. In the next video, in the upcoming video, we'll start with polymorphism. That what is polymorphism? The most important topic in object-oriented programming. Now, this was all about for this video, my dears. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you learned something from this video. If you enjoyed the video, please like the video and share it with your friends. And do subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching, my dears. I will see you next time.